Hey, what up everyone? It's your boy, and we're back with a hero review slash guide to the new hero within the game, Kana. Okay, it's male Kana, not female. Okay, I get them both mixed up every time because there's two genders and yeah, okay? But we're focusing on male Kana and not female Kana here. And they're both really cute. Like, both of them, they look really awesome. Kudos to the artist, whoever made them, because they both look cool and very good. Okay? Anyways, let's get into the review. So basically, this is my new series. I'm going to be doing a review on pretty much every single hero, or I'm going to try to, that comes out in Fire Emblem. We'll be splitting all of these guides into 3 sections, so in the future, any kind of guide I do will have these 3 sections. The first section is going to be about the stats and what stands out amongst them all, what boons and banes they should have. Well, in this case, since Male Kana is a Grand Hero Battle, there are no IVs. There's only one neutral IV, so I really can't do that. But this is for future guides as well. And basically, we'll be also talking about how it compares with other units of the same type. And then the second section is going to be about what skills and seals you should also place on Male Kana. And the last section is what teammates he should have and what enemies he should also avoid. So let's get started. Alrighty, let's look at his stats. So this is going to be based on his 5-star version, so you can see that his HP is actually 40, his attack is 31, and his speed is 33, his defense 31, and his resistance is 29. They're actually pretty even. Nothing really pops out. It's very tame stats, it's very normal, it's pretty much very neutral, as you would expect for a Grand Hero Battle unit, because as we know, Camus, yeah, he was a little bit too OP. But nowadays, we get Grand Hero battle units that are, they're serviceable, they have their own niche, but they're not, like, overpowered. So if you compare with female Kana, it's pretty similar. He has more resistance and attack, but just one less speed and less defense. So they're both pretty much the same. There's no really huge difference between them, and his total skill points is 164, not the highest. I think Hardened is like the highest, but definitely pretty good. 164 is no joke. Obviously, the best comparison is to Naui, and not female Corrin, not his mom, because, she kind of sucks, overall. I'm sorry, all you Corrin fans out there. But she really does, like, truthfully. And so let's compare with Naui. You'll see that Naui is highly comparable to him, but with more attack and HP, but less speed. Well, since already you know that Naui can be a very strong tank, and since they're very similar to one another, Male Kana also has much higher defense and resistance, which means that he can also be a very strong tank, a very strong enemy phase unit, just like Naui can be. Now again, the big thing is he is a Grand Hero Battle unit, which means that there are no IVs other than his neutral stats. So that ultimately makes him a little weaker than Naui herself, as Naui can potentially have higher defense or higher attack, which can make her even stronger. Out of 5, I'll give his stats a 4 just because nothing really stands out and you can't change those stats in any way. You also can't plus 10 him right now. Alright, time for section number 2. Let's get into his skills. Male Kana has a new weapon, which is called Water Breath Plus. Now, Water Breath Plus is very interesting because it grants defense resistance plus 4, and it makes him even more tanky on the enemy phase. With his weapon refinements, I personally feel because he is already so strong defensively, you should definitely invest in plus defense or his plus resistance to improve those stats and give him more HP. I will stay away from plus attack because it will only make his attacks 2 points higher to 33, which that's actually lower than what a neutral Naui actually has, and even compares with Oboro, almost with her base 32 attack. So I'll recommend you to not do that, and to improve his defense or his resistance. His speed, really, his speed's pretty low, so I would not say to improve his speed as well. Well, okay, maybe his speed's pretty high, but okay, 33, that's pretty good. But speed nowadays, they have to be way higher than that. Okay, in order to actually make a difference, and you can actually double people up. Other weapons to think about is obviously Lightning Breath Plus. It's virtually the best dragon weapon in this entire game right now. And obviously use plus defense because that allows him to counterattack and will make him very strong on the enemy phase. His passive can be anything depending on your team, so I'll stick with the 2 staples. You can either have Reposition for Barst or Selena, or you can even have Swap because they're pretty much the best passive skills. His normal special is Dragon Fang, which again really doesn't help him because of his lower attack points. The best probably is Bonfire or Ignis because of his high defensive stats, or even Aether if you're rich in feathers and have Crom because Aether is right now so very strong in the meta. It's absolutely insane, especially with strong offensive enemy phase units. Like, you can put Aether on pretty much anybody, and that'll make them OP as hell. Like, Fjorm is one of the best examples of potentially not a very good unit to become a very, very strong unit because of Aether. His normal A skills is Brazen Defense Resistant 3, grants him Defense Resistant plus 7 during combat, which makes him a little bit more tanky, so this grade you're cheap, but as we know, Steady Breath from Brave Ike is still the strongest A skill for tanks, and also allows him to get off Aether much quickly with his cooldown plus 1. Other A skills to think about are Fury because it improves all his overall stats, but if you use that, it might be better to pair him up with a healer or some reciprocal aid Ardent Sacrifice unit that can get his health back quickly because you will mostly be using him as bait, so he'll be taking a lot of aggro, let me tell you that. He doesn't have a B skill, so Quick Riposte 3 is always welcoming to any Steady Breath users. It also allows Kana to slap enemies at least once, especially with his Lightning Breath, which might give him a double attack when above HP 70%. Vantage can also be nice as well with Fury, or it can also have Wind Sweep to prevent enemies from counterattacking, or just other cool B skills to debuff opponents, whatever you want. Again, his C skill can basically be anything. Some of the best choices are obviously Fortified Dragons, or you can have Hone Dragons, or other debuffing C skills like Attack or Res Smoke 3 for those opponents. The best seal to place on Kana is obviously a defensive seal that helps him live a bit longer. Distant Defense 3, Close Defense 3 are both great choices. If you are not running Quick Riposte 3, then a Quick Riposte seal can be granted him as well to give him that automatic shot on the opponent. Alright, the last section is talking about his teammates. Male Kana works the best with other dragons that can probably hold him up a little bit more, or maybe even fortify him. Surrounding him with great green killers like Young Tiki or Adult Tiki helps in relieving pressure off of him because they're able to kill all those green units while he's able to go around and kill all those blue and red units. Okay? So again, he's mostly used as a bait. He's not going to be offensive like a guy that quickly strikes from the backyard, right? He's the one that's going up in the front lines, taking all that enemy aggro because he's so strong defensively. You can also place him with other strong green killers like Legendary Ike or Ike himself, Aira, or even Zelgius. Obviously, his counters are any Falchion users and a bunch of green units that can ultimately kill him easily. His female counterpart, Female Kana, is actually very dangerous against him, and he also has to worry about Naga users like Julia and Deirdre, and other strong green units like Dorcas, Hector, and Merce. So please, don't bait those characters because he will definitely die in one shot. Overall, Male Kana is a great unit to invest in, and if you don't have Naui, he is definitely much stronger than his mom. But again, if you do have Naui, then it's best to probably use Naui because again, she has different IVs. You can give her different banes. You can give her different boons, and also you need to invest a little bit more in Male Kana because Naui already has Lightning Breath Plus for a weapon. You also can't plus 10 him yet because he is a free unit, which also makes Naui much more enticing for units for people like us. Because again, you can only get him up to plus 2 right now. You can't get him up to plus 10 just like now we can get. So for this, I'll give him a 4.25 out of 5 rating just because of those factors. But he is a great unit to invest, and I strongly recommend him if you want a good, serviceable blue dragon unit and you don't have Naui yet. Or maybe you just want to you want to use him because he's cute. I don't know why. So that concludes my analysis on Male Kana. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you think I did pretty well. And I'll see you next time with another amazing guide. Thank you, everyone. Peace out.